Well, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's a great honor and real privilege for me to be here tonight to receive the 2019 ABANA Achievement Award. I would like to thank the board and the members of ABANA for this award, and a special thanks to my dear friend David for his kind introduction and all these wonderful things he said about me. I have known David for more than 25 years. David is one of the few people who pledged to donate more than half of his wealth to philanthropic causes. He has donated large sums of money to a number of leading universities and had a leading role in preserving the memory of this country's heritage. Congratulations on ABANA's 35th anniversary. ABANA and its 35-year history has been a bridge between the financial sector in North America and the MENA region. The people present at this event tonight is the best example that ABANA accomplished its task successfully. I stand before you tonight to accept this award humbly among many of my friends and colleagues. It is a great honor and privilege to be recognized among my peers and follow so many great leaders before me. It is also a recognition of all my colleagues at the KIA who work around the clock to make KIA a success. I was thinking about a subject to share with you tonight, and the quote by Voltaire came to my mind. Common sense is not so common. This is very true in the world we live in today. I'd like to give you some examples. Geopolitics. Geopolitics has become an increasingly important factor in economics and is making our lives more difficult every day. Allow me to name a few topics. Brexit, the president impeachment inquiries, US-China trade war, demonstrations in Hong Kong, rise of populism, Middle East issues. Of course, this one has been in the list for the last 3,000 years, so nothing new there, and so on. Another growing concern that needs to be addressed is the ever-increasing level of debt. Each American, even a newborn, is saddled with a debt of more than $70,000 US. The US historical debt outstanding has more than doubled since the financial crisis, hitting today nearly 23 trillion US dollars. US student loans, which is very worrying, has reached more than 1 trillion US dollar, more than doubling over a period of 10 years. US car loans have grown to almost US dollar 1.3 trillion. Global debt rose to a record of $247 trillion. War debt has surged almost 150 trillion over the last 15 years. China debt is now more than 300% of its GDP. One of the main reasons of this huge increase in debt all over the world is the zero or near zero interest rate. Whether it's corporations, nations, consumers, debt has grown by multiple worldwide. In this interlinked world, the inability to pay off a loan will have a rippling effect on Main Street and not only Wall Street. As we have seen in the 2008 financial crisis, when a bubble bursts, the losses are immense and global. Although there are several other issues we can discuss for hours tonight, I would like to talk about climate change. Climate change is not a fad. It is here, it is real, and it's happening now. Climate change is a reality that we can no longer ignore. All of us share the same planet. We share the responsibilities to protect it for our future generations. President Macron aptly said, there is no planet B. The longer it takes humanity to curb emission, the greater the danger. Let me provide you with some perspective. Globally, July this year was the hottest month ever recorded. All-time heat records were topped in Germany, Belgium, France, and Netherlands. Hurricanes Harvey, Irma, and Maria caused as much as $265 billion of damages. Overall weather disaster in 2017 and 2018 cost the global economy $653 billion. There are now more than Category 5 hurricanes each year than what was recorded during the last 100 years. The Amazon forest stores up to 120 billion metric tons of CO2, which is equivalent to almost 12 years of global emission at the current rate. If the Amazon forest is cleared, that 120 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide will be released in the atmosphere. In 2000, Russia Weather Service recorded 141 severe weather phenomena, which is they define as intense weather conditions that threatens human safety and cause economic damages. Last year, the number grew to 580. This is more than four-fold increase in less than 20 years. In the US, extreme heat caused more death than any other severe weather event, killing an estimated 1,500 people each year. In 2003, a heat wave in Europe is estimated to have caused 70,000 deaths. According to the World Economic Forum, China and US are responsible for more than 40% of the world CO2 emission. The top 15 countries generate 72% of the CO2 emissions. The rest of the world, 180 countries, produce nearly 28% of the total. In November of last year, Kuwait had severe flooding, probably one of its worst in history. The country shut down for 2 consecutive days as the rain continued. In fact, some of you present tonight were unable to return to Kuwait or were unable to depart as the runways were flooded. As human beings, coexisting together on one planet, we play a vital role in preserving our environment. Our actions have a profound impact, whether it is to improve or destroy our surrounding. These actions can be a simple lifestyle change, such as carrying a reusable bag or planting a tree, or so on. As the globe continues to warm up, we can no longer escape rising temperatures, forest fires, or hurricanes. We simply cannot run away from nature. Every Friday for more than a year, many students around the world have been striking from school, demanding action on climate crisis. Change is still possible, as our youth has been showing us every single day. Nelson Mandela said it. It always seems impossible until it is done. Imagine the capabilities and opportunities available in this room if we use our skills and resources together. We can no longer put this off to tomorrow. Tomorrow is already here. Some say necessity is the mother of innovation. The need to save our planet has paved the way for renewable energy in all its forms. Solar power installation cost about 80% less than a decade ago. Last year, California generated 19% of its electricity from solar power, growing from 1% over a span of 10 years only. Solar and wind energy provide 17% of electricity generation in the US in 2018. Electricity from the wind and sun now accounts for 7% of the world total generation. In December 2017, KIA was invited to attend the One Planet Summit in Paris. The objective was for a group of leading sovereign wealth funds to arrive at a framework of principles for reasonable ESG investing. Subsequently, the framework was launched in July 2018. KIA has been an advocate for climate change through adoption of a One Planet Sovereign Wealth Fund framework. We contacted more than 130 asset managers, with some of you being in this room, in order to push for a sustainable environment through climate-friendly investment policies. In July and September this year, the working group met in Paris and New York alongside the One Planet Research Forum and the One Planet Asset Managers initiatives to further our cause to address climate change. Collectively, the founding 6 sovereign wealth funds and 8 asset managers have pledged to support the One Planet framework. We hope to expand the group by adding other sovereign wealth funds and asset managers. We're also hoping to include pension funds and private asset managers to help us to achieve this task. I urge each of you to take this issue seriously and join the One Planet Sovereign Wealth Fund and the One Planet Asset Manager Group to help in our effort to address climate change. We can make a difference, and we need your help. The KIA is managing the Future Generation Fund for Kuwait. If there is no planet, there is no future generations, full stop. I'm delighted to inform you that Kuwait will host the annual One Planet meeting in July 2020. Of course, Kuwait in July, when the temperature is close to 130, it will most certainly drive home the point of any climate change skeptic there. In conclusion, what I have spoken about may be bleak, but this is our reality. I encourage all of you to work together to overcome these obstacles. If any one of you were looking for a magical solution to these issues, they will be disappointed. But I will leave you with this. All of us should use common sense as much as possible in politics, business, and certainly in protecting the environment. Friends and colleagues, thank you for this opportunity to speak to you tonight and for your support at this event. I would like also to thank ABANA again for this distinguished recognition and to ask them to keep up their great work. Thank you very much.